Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Chats with the Farmer's Daughter Fibers. My name is Candace English, and I am the Farmer's Daughter. I'm so excited that I'm finally back. It's been over a month. I actually recorded a podcast last week, and it would not upload, which was so annoying. But then I was also most of the time I'd go back and watch like a little bit of it. This one I didn't. I was just like uploading it. And then while it was not uploading, I was like, oh, I'll check it out. It was boring. I was just like, like, I was rambling in a non-fun way, and that's just not gonna do for my people. So I was like, you know what? It's a sign that it's not uploading. And I'm back today at the shop. I've talked about this before of like, I like recording at my house because the light is pretty, it's convenient, I'm home. However, I like being at the shop, and there's something about being in your personal space and sharing things, and being in more of a community space and sharing things about yourself, and it makes it feel, for some reason, like a little bit more safe. I don't know why that is, but I just, I like doing these at the shop. And so I've been dropping Addie off at like 6 a.m. And since we moved, she's all the way across town at her old school. So it's kind of a whole production. So I've just been coming into work afterwards a lot of the times. And I don't mind waking up early because I'm really at my best. I'm the most energetic. I'm one of those annoying people. I don't even need coffee to wake up. I know. So I just decided to come in and was like, is the lighting good enough? And you know what? It's fine. I'm a little washed out, a little artificial light, but you can actually see colors pretty damn well. So that is what I'm doing, is recording from the shop in the dark. It's fine. It's 6 a.m. Well, it's actually 7 a.m. now. And you'd think that the riffraff would be quiet around here. This is when riffraff happens most, though, is I would say between the hours of 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. So hopefully everyone's just snug in their beds. We don't have any distractions, and they're choosing good things instead of meth. Yeah, so what have I been doing since last time I talked to you guys? It was the holidays, which was really good. If you're in retail, by the time you get to Christmas, if you know, you're just like zombie. Do you have a soul? I'm not really sure. It's a lot. But my mom and my sister came down, and my niece and my brother-in-law, and we cooked and we ate food. I ate so much food I was just like uninhibited, like freaking eating whipped cream like it was my job. It was lovely. And we played a lot of games. We played a lot of 313. We played Dungeons of Mayhem. I love that game. I hope my kids, I can catch them at home this weekend so I can play that with them, because I love that game. They're teenagers. They're gonzo all the time. So yeah, that's kind of it. I guess I've been to Bozeman one time since I saw you guys. That was a fun little trip. I've been doing lots of planning, so much planning. Like after the holidays, I was just like, what's going on 2023? What are we doing at the shop? So many events that we have planned. I'm so excited to tell you guys. I will share, I think I'm gonna be able to share some really exciting stuff the next time I'm here. We'll have to see. So I think I should have it done. I'm gonna try to get it done mostly today. And then by the end of next week and the next time I'm here, if you know me, if you've watched me before any of my Instagrams or the podcasts, it's hard for me to keep a secret to you guys, because it's like right now it's not like you're there, but you are real and you are there. And I just need to be patient. So it's just gonna wait. So lots of planning, really fun stuff. I think the shop's gonna be like busy this year and bustling with all of the things that we have. I'm basically gonna make it impossible for you guys not to want to come to Montana. I mean, I know you guys already wanna come, but now, like 2023 is my year to go see FDF. So lots of tarot. I've been using this book, this Fountain Tarot Journal. I know I've shown this before, but I really love this for the beginning of the year. I hadn't used it myself until I was waiting for the beginning of the year because they have some really great like intention setting and ways to kind of choose a card for the year. Lots of self-reflecting and, like I said, intention setting, and then you can journal your tarot spreads throughout the year. This is a shop copy, not mine. It's good. Don't get to know my inner thoughts. I mean, actually you do because I'm very uninhibited on this little podcast. Yeah, it's really great. And this book has, if you're not familiar with tarot, if you've never done tarot and you want to start tarot, I would highly, 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 highly recommend this because it gives you education in a way that's like short and concise and not overwhelming. So yeah, love this. I'll link it. I'll link all of these things. I've been doing that. I've been doing astrology stuff. I follow Chani, Chani. She is an astrologist out of LA, which, I mean, that sentence right there just sounds very woo-woo, but she's actually so good at what she does. I've been following her for a really long time, and it's been really fun to kind of see her capitalize on her craft, because before, like, I was getting kind of these I didn't get the moon book from her. I was getting like astrology guides kind of for the year, but they were just, I mean, you can just tell she's come a long way and she has lots of help and teams now to help her. And I just love seeing that for women, you know, capitalizing on the things that you're good at that most people wouldn't necessarily deem a important craft, or, you know, it's kind of a witchy thing. I mean, obviously we are like that here. Like, you do what now? Yes, we dye yarn and we knit. So Chani's great. She has a app and she has like guidebooks and stuff. So that's another thing I recommend for the beginning of the year when you're trying to, you know, figure out who you are and what you want to do. I always like to set a intention or like a word of the year, which I didn't last year, and it's kind of funny because last year was probably like the first like normal year that I've had. I mean, we moved, so that was like a big event, but besides that, I just really felt like I've been in a rhythm for the last year of like going to work, getting my work done, coming home, like being able to cook dinner, like enjoying my kids. I just don't feel like I'm having to hustle 80 hours a week anymore, which, dang, that feels good. I've been working out a lot, and I've been running. I'm starting to run. I'm doing a half marathon in June, and I'm, you know, it's going to be a journey because I have all of these things. I slipped a disc a couple years, and then, you know, I have all this nerve pain and TFL stuff and IT band and my shoulders and blah, 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 blah. So that's been kind of like the forefront. I haven't really been knitting at all. When I went to Bozeman, I knit on my sweater as much as I could. And besides that, I haven't been sitting down to knit, which I'll show you guys what I'm knitting. This is the Sully sweater. I wasn't working on it last time. Gosh, it's been a while. So look how far I've gotten. This little yoke part with the sleeves took me so freaking long. It was kind of crazy how much I've been working on this. So now you guys can psychoanalyze me if you want, or you can just tell me to nut up or shut up. I'm such a fair weather knitter, and obviously just going around like stockinette, just my best friend. that's easy. I can pick it up, I can put it down. But if I'm having to do something like I wanted to knit these sleeves before I knit the body. There are two colors that you're using held together, and then there is your main color. So yeah, so I have Eagle Eye here, Fugitive, and then my main color. And then, you know, you're working off a chart. So I have my Cocoa Knits like little pattern reader chart magnet thing. I should know the names of these things that I sell, but I don't. So I can link it. I just feel like I need to sit down and like get my little spread out and have my tea and do my whole thing. And that's just not really reality. And sometimes I'm so damn tired when I do have a minute that's not what I want to do. But I don't know. How do you guys do it? I mean, you all are pumping out sweaters like crazy. You're just picking it up wherever you go. I just don't feel like with these sleeves, I actually really don't feel like I can do that. And my one goal for this year, is it a goal? It's not an intention. It's a rule, is to be a monogamous knitter. When I finished my Mackworth, I felt so good about it. It was like so exciting to finish something and wear it all the time now. And so that's really what I want to do, is I want to finish something and then get to move on to the next thing. A couple of things what I think is that I'm not going to be necessarily planning my next knit while I'm knitting something, because what happens is I lose the luster of the project if I have them planned out too far in advance. Like this one, I've had picked out since September and I've been so excited about it. But then when I get to it, and then I'm just like, it's the dopamines. I know. I'm just not as like, I mean, I'm still stoked about it. I love it. I'm gonna wear it all the time. It's not that. I don't know what it is. All right. Psychology hour's done on why I'm having hangups on my knitting. It's for my therapist. So actually I'm just joking, not freaking talking to my therapist about my knitting. Maybe I should. Maybe it would explain a lot of things in my life. Anyways, let's move on. I'm excited. I'm just gonna have to sit down and do the sleeves. And like I said, I'm gonna have to buck up, sister. What else am I talking about this morning besides my little knitting? Oh, let me tell you guys about the needles I'm using for this. I decided to pick up a pair of the Cypra, and I love them. They're so pretty to knit with. There's something even more like magical and witchy about knitting with copper needles. They're just as fast as Chai-Gus. I'm like knitting and like trying to describe to you. They're just as fast as Chai-Gus. The first couple of rows, I almost could feel like a little bit of residual metal on there, just maybe where they had polished it. It comes with a polishing cloth, so you should be able to just like polish it up. And within a row, I had knit it like down, whatever it was just like a little residual bit. So that wasn't an issue at all. The only thing I will say, now this doesn't slow me down at all. It is something I had to get used to, which I'm totally used to now, is the join on these. Let me see if you can almost hear it. Like you get a little bit of texture when you're pulling your stitches up. It doesn't snag, it doesn't slow me down. It is just something, it's like literally you can feel it and you can hear the needles going across the join. I kind kind of love it. It's just like a little added thing that, you know, obviously I can knit without looking at it, and I like to have kind of those extra textures to help keep me, I don't want to say focused. How do I describe this? When I'm knitting and I'm not looking, if I'm just knitting stockinette, you know, it's all by touch and by it's just another added sensory thing to your knitting that for some reason helps me know kind of where I'm at. Does that make sense? I like it, but it is something you do need to get used to. At first I was like, oh my God, what is this? Is this catching? Is it slowing me down? And it's not at all. It's just a little added sensory. And for somebody who's sensory sensitive, I, again, don't hate it. I got the larger set. I got the 5-inch set, and because I don't have any 5-inch sets of anything, that's not true, I'm sure I do. And then I realized when I do my sleeves that I need the 3.5-inch set too. I've gotten so many needle sets in the last 6 weeks. It's a little embarrassing. Again, market research. I gotta tell you guys what's going on here. I gotta be able to explain the sensory sensitive things of these needles. Yeah, like I said, I actually really love that little like every time did you get that? Every time I bunch up my stitches, or oops, I dropped a stitch, sorry here. Maybe I should stop. Every time move up my stitches? Yeah. Okay, anyways, I feel like I'm really babbling now. Love the needles. Oh, I can show you guys. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys the fog line kit. I'll just tell you. And then I wanna show you the new Laine magazine and the Montana Women magazine. I have some mittens to show off and some Spincycle bundles. And then I'll talk about what I'm wearing when I show you guys the Spincycle bundles. My favorite sweater. I say that about every sweater and every yarn. I just am passionate about our things. Okay. It's hard once you get going to put this down. Ooh. Mm. Okay. Sorry about this. Put that away. And last week I put together some fog line bundles. This is the fog line shawl. It's by Brianne Moody. And this is one of the most favorite things that I ever knit. And it starts here. It's a super, super simple meditative pattern. It's mosaic, and it is also what I used the Soka'pii cowl, which is a pattern for Sisters United. And so yeah, you go into a solid color, and then you take that solid color and you mix it with your color 2. And then your color 2, this is where you start the spin cycle. So you use your color 2 and your spin cycle 1, and then you use your color 3, and then you're still using that same spin cycle. So it's kind of like a ladder. So these two are the same spin cycle, and then you're using the same color as here for this one and a new spin cycle. And then the last one is a new spin cycle and a new main color. Really, really easy, like I said, meditative knit. If someone was depressed or had anxiety or needed any sort of like loving, caring knit, this pattern would be it. I don't know, there's just something about it. So, and this wrap is just one of my faves. I use it as a sample. I don't really take it out much. So you can do like a whole scarf situation like this. Like this. You could tuck it in, which is nice. I need my things to be like tucked in so then I can put it under my coat. So cozy. I would also just wear it more as a scarf too. You could do a lot of different things with this. You could make it longer and narrower. You could also, I mean, the modifications are super easy. You would just cast on less stitches, make it longer. I have always wanted to make like a car seat blanket for somebody with this, which I would probably just do like 2 blocks and then maybe like 2 more over here. Whether I would seam those together, I'm not really sure. I just think that there's a lot of options though that you have with this. So I put together some kits. It's been a while. It's one of my favorite things to put kits together for. So I'll just show you the kits that we did. The nice thing about the kits is I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of yarn here, but we were able to at least do a half skein of Pishkin. For this color right here, you need 1.5. So for this kit, that would be the York right here. And then with York, I really love Kinnikinnick. I love that little combo there. And then with Kinnikinnick, so then you're gonna do this solid, then you're gonna put these two together, and then you're gonna have your Kinnikinnick, and you need to put that with something. And so I would probably do, here's kind of my choices right here. I would do this Afternoon Delight with the Kinnikinnick, and then you're gonna put the Kinnikinnick down, and you're gonna get another skein of Pishkin, and that is, I would do Evergreen right here. Then you're gonna put this down, and you need another skein of Spincycle. So I would use Light Years. This is one of my favorite combos, is Evergreen and Light Years. I just love it. And then you're gonna put both of those down, and then to finish it off, you're gonna have BSN in Shades of Earth. Which I just love that too. And, you know, I kind of think about the wrap, because if you're wrapping it like this, you're kind of seeing both ends right here are a little bit more closely tied. So I kind of like to have these a little bit more matchy. I mean, not necessarily, because this doesn't feel super coordinated. A little bit. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh my gosh, my nose, I just want to cut it off some days. I might stand up so my back doesn't get messed up. Let's see if I can do that without cutting myself off too much. It's not too bad. Go like this, just for a minute. That's what my chiropractor said. I gotta be standing up every 20 minutes. So yeah, so what I was saying is that like I kind of like these at the end, you know, lining up a little bit. So that is kit 1. If you ordered one of these, they're coming. We're just dyeing. We dyed the wool. It's gonna be like, I think they're scanning them today. So they should ship Monday, Tuesday. And then the yarn for this is Pishkin. Super lovely Rambouillet, non-superwash. It's a 2-ply and 231 yards. Is that right? 255 yards. it's like a sweatshirt. When you make a sweater with it and you block it, wash it and block it, it turns into the inside of a cozy little sweatshirt. Love that. So that was kit 1. I don't think I remember the other kits. Maybe for time. Speed this up a little bit. Chit-chatting. Okay, this one, the main color is Soka'pii. So there are a few more kits left online. I made extras after we did pre-orders. That can go in there. This, I don't know where the heck that goes. Okay. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I just want to show you guys how I would put these together because I think it's helpful. This guy. Wait. Oh, that does go in there. Okay. So this one I would use, let me just make sure. Not screwing anything up. Where the heck did I just put that kit? Oh, here he is. We're good. We good. Okay, so this one you're gonna, and you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do what I'm suggesting. The only thing you do have to do, oh, there's 2 skeins of Spincycle for the last one. So, I wonder if I'm messing this up. I gotta look, because I don't want to mess it up on you guys. Let me just pull it up really quickly here. This is a good time for you to like go get a drink of water. I know you're sitting there knitting. Oh, why don't you get up and do some stretches while we're pausing our program. Okay, here we go. And then I can tell you what kits they are. Okay, so kit 5 is this Soka'pii. 2 skeins of Good Omen. Okay, good to know. Because you need 2 skeins for the first one, the first Spincycle that you're using. So we have to use, which I would have, that's what I would have picked anyways. But I just don't want to mess anything up here. Okay. First, you're gonna start with Soka'pii. So what I was saying is you can really do whatever you want. The only things that are really set in stone are the first color of Pishkin and the first color of Spincycle that you use because you need more yardage for them. So I would use Soka'pii to start. Then you're gonna use Many Moons with that. So pretty. Then you're gonna put the Soka'pii down and you're gonna have your Many Moons and your Good Omen. Oh yeah, love that combo. And then you're gonna put your Many Moons down. You're gonna keep your Good Omen and you're gonna put your Good Omen with your Ranch Romance. And then you're gonna put your Good Omen down and you're gonna put your Ranch Romance with Absolute Zero. And there's these really lovely bits in Absolute Zero that match up with the Good Omen. And I just love that when you can kind of see flecks. If it's like still high contrast, but then you can kind of see flecks of the main color. And then you're gonna put both of those down. And then your last one is going to be Miss Me and York. Right? Yep. Gorge. And again, you can mix and match that. You could do Absolute Zero with York. It's just a less of a contrast. And then the same with this too. So it's really up to you what you like. These are just my suggestions. Okay. Put this little bad boy back. And then the next one is a little bit of a brighter kit. It's kit 3. And there is my favorite color is Fugitive. And so this is what you're gonna start out with. And then let's just see what this Hidden Place, this one. Okay, so I would use Fugitive to start, and then you're gonna hold Fugitive with Juniper, Classic, bright colors, and then you're going to put your Fugitive down. You're just gonna have Recollect with Hidden Place, and then you're gonna put Juniper down, and you're gonna have Hidden Place with, man, you could really go either way here. You could do it with Bitterroot and then do, no. I don't know, this is hard. Well, you're gonna have to have those two together. Okay, so you could do Bitterroot with Hidden Place and then do Bitterroot with Rosy Maple. And then you're gonna go into Overshadow and I've Got Dreams to Remember, which I love that, like transition into those two. You could also switch that up and then you could do Hidden Place with I've Got Dreams to Remember. And the Dreams is coming up a little bit dark. It's definitely more of a navy blue on here. So you could do Hidden Place and Dreams, and then you could go into Overshadow and then go into that. So you have some options on that one. But I will say you don't want, I mean, you're not gonna want Overshadow and Bitterroot. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe you do it like really monochromatic on that one. It would be beautiful. I love Pishkin too because, you know, it's non-superwash. We're hand dyeing it, 4 skeins in a pot. It's so small batch dyed that you get a big variation with it. It's not, some of the colors, sure, you're gonna get like a complete solid, but a lot of colors you're gonna get like it's a semi-solid. And so when you mix it with Spincycle and the Dream State, I feel like it just makes it so much better because you're getting variation on variation and just really brings it to life. Breaks it up too. These bags have seen better days. Okay. And then the last one, this one's my favorite. I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't the best seller, which, you know, if you don't know, you don't know. But this is why it's my favorite, is because this combo of colors, I mean, you'll see this combo of colors on my Instagram grid, I'm sure, a lot in the coming weeks until you see an actual sweater. And this, I've decided, I always mess this name up. Andrea Mowry's new cardigan, that is the Shift Again, is what she's calling it. It's like the Shifty and the Trinigan mixed together-ish. I'm going to do mine in Recollect in Mad Mardigan, and then do the Blips in Come and Get Your Love. Or maybe the other way, no, this way, because this really isn't my color. So anyways, I love this color combo. It's so pretty and vintage and just, and I think because I do love Come and Get Your Love so much, but it's not really my color, I can wear it with this, which is my color. So you're gonna start with Come and Get Your Love, and then you're gonna go into, I just need to make sure that I have the right one, Family Jewels. Okay, so you're gonna go into this, and then, oh, just so beautiful. And with these two, you're gonna hold those two together. You're gonna put Come and Get Your Love down, and then you're gonna have Mad Mardigan. And with Mad Mardigan, you're gonna have Family Jewels. So beautiful. Put Family Jewels down, and then you're gonna go into I've Got Dreams to Remember. And then you're gonna put the Family Jewels down, and you're gonna pick up Close Call. I just love these skeins of Close Call. They're sagey, and they have yellows, like sunflower yellows, little bits of like burnt orange, and the most beautiful blues and sages, and it's just a really, really, really lovely batch of Close Call. So then you'll have these two, and then you're gonna put both of those down, and then you're gonna finish it with some Ghost Ranch and Cinnapon. You know that show, like Weird Things People Eat? If I was ever gonna be like, you know, doing weird ass shit, like eating random things, it would be yarn. So good. These bundles of Spincycle that I wanna show you guys are just, yesterday I was like, weird if I licked this. Yeah, it would. I didn't do it, don't worry. Not accosting your yarn before I send it to you. Well, no, I'm just joking. I'm not. All right, everyone who's new here is like, what the hell is this lady talking about? She's crazy. Yes, I am. Okay, fog line. If you have any questions about the kits or order or anything like that, let me know. Like I said, we did pre-orders, and then I left up, I think I left a good amount. Let me see here. Yeah, kit 1 has 6, kit 2 has 2, kit 3 has 1, and kit 5 has 4 available. So enough, and I can always make more. And if you want to make your own, if you maybe have a Spincycle in your stash, or maybe you have some Pishkin in your stash, you can always do a virtual shopping too. Okay, feeling like I can sit back down now. And get into the right place here. I'll just show you guys really quickly a couple of things. We're already at 40 minutes, and so I'm gonna have to speed this baby up. It's not my strong suit. Stay up. Get him out of the way. Okay, so 2 new magazines that we got in. Montana Woman magazine. This is the new issue. I haven't looked at it yet. I just grabbed it when I went on by. It smells good. Ooh, a little delicious recipe for some snickerdoodle cookies. Those look good. Sister work. What the heck is this? This is some sort of, oh, it looks like it's maybe like a bit of a poem about, I don't know what that is. Tatting? Is that what tatting is? Looks like it's kind of a little nice little short story poemish thing. Oh, wow, look at this freaking, oh, so pretty, that cross stitch pattern in here. This is, if you guys don't know, Montana Woman magazine is a beautiful magazine in, based out of the Flathead Valley. Megan does an amazing job, and it's all about Montana women, real Montana women. The mountains are women. A lot of like really nice poems in here, very easy breezy for the beginning of the year. Studio 41, this looks like a, oh, did Ben do that? This looks like a really lovely article about some photographers. And then it looks like an article about a woman who's turning 30 this year. Her cute little family. Yeah, this one has, I feel like, a lot of like poems and very easy breezy. There's an article about, oh, another article about, I think that maybe the photographers. So if you're coming to Montana, I would suggest getting some of these because along with the articles, there's a lot of ads in here, and I'm telling you, all these places that have these ads are really lovely places to visit. So yeah, sorry, you just saw me looking at the magazine. So I'm trying to describe it to you, but yeah, I think this issue is very like a good thing just to like cozy up and read. Take a little nap on the couch. And then Laine magazine, I'm loving the colors that they're doing still. They're like, it's really bright. And I looked through this a little bit. I'll show you some of my favorite things that, well, there's a great article in here. Elaine Tom, and Elaine is a sample knitter for a lot of people. I've met Elaine before. I think she was sample knitting for Caitlin Hunter, and maybe that's how I met her. I met her in New York at Vogue. Super, super sweet, extremely talented. And so there's a sweet little article about her in there. And then for patterns, I loved this one, Badana cardigan. And I would love to hold like oh dang with something. I'm not really sure what the gauge is. Can you guys see that? I'm like holding several pages right here. So, oh yeah, there we go. I love that one. I love these socks. Great little sock pattern in there. I'm gonna tell you though, you guys, the recipes this year, or this issue. Mwah. Roe dip and chips, yes please. There's like a salmon situation that's salted, and it looks, my mouth is watering. Roasted beetroot salad recipe. I also love this sweater, is my favorite. So, S-O-E. And oh yeah, I love the detail. Just like a super simple stockinette and then a cabled sleeve, which I think is my jam. Oh, and I love, look at the hemline, or the, what that's called? Hemline? Oh, that little up in the front, down in the back. So cute. Oh, it looks like there's like a little ribbed underneath situation too. I might have to get that sample made. So lots of really lovely patterns in this issue. And like I said, the food, always my favorite. Okay, so books, magazines, let's quickly look at the Spincycle bundles I put together, and then I can talk about my Mackworth. This has been one of my favorite things that I have knit. And it's very simple color work. I'm actually going to be doing a, what's going on over there? Like, see something in the reflection of the glass. Is it me? No. Somebody coming down the street. I can't quite tell what they're doing. So really simple color work. I'm going to be doing a class on the Mackworth. in here in the shop, but after I do it, if it translates well, I'll probably do an online class as well. And what the class is going to be structured as is choosing colors, choosing yarns, doing a gauge swatch, learning about gauge, and then we're just going to be knitting the yoke together in class, and then you'll finish the rest of the sweater, which is, you know, pretty easy to do because it's just stockinette. So yeah, I just love this. I love the colors. Don't ask me what the colors are because I'm going to tell you right now, 2 of them Spincycle no longer carries. And if they did carry them, they wouldn't look at all the same. So it's just finding those perfect skeins of Spincycle. And what I did with this one is and I don't always do this, but I took my Spincycle because there were like these rows that I wanted. And I think originally this was not knit out of Spincycle. It was knit out of Ritual Dyes. But because there's 3 different colors that Andrea uses for contrast. And so I wanted my Spincycle to be, I wanted to choose. I wanted to like place where I wanted it. Like this whole row right here, I wanted all of this like little peachy color, where if I was just going to knit it, it wouldn't have been like that. You could take one Spincycle color and you could do this. I did use 3 different colors of Spincycle for this. And I love these little repeats. It's like repeats of like 3, maybe 5 max on some of these larger ones, but it just goes so quickly. And then I knit it with Soka'pii in Willow Creek is the main color. And I'll talk about Soka'pii here in a minute. I was gonna show you guys kind of the range of colors that we have that maybe are like a little bit similar and sometimes harder to tell apart. So like I said, for this one, I wound my ball and then wound that ball into many other little balls to kind of pick and choose exactly what I wanted. Again, you don't always have to do that, and especially if your Spincycle is maybe a little bit more solid color, or maybe your differences of your colors are great enough. So this is just one idea for these bundles. There's so many different things you can do. I mentioned the Cardigan sweater earlier. There is there is this shifty cowl. Is it the shifty cowl? I don't know. So there's this one here, and I made this same exact bundle, but yeah. So this takes 3 skeins of Spincycle. There's so many different yoked sweaters out there that you can do for this. Crazy here. Trying to think off the top of my head. You know, there's lots. Maybe I'll link some. I'll definitely in my newsletter. I'm gonna link a bunch. So if you get our newsletter, you can see that there. And I think I'm gonna send out my newsletter on Tuesday. I was supposed to do it yesterday. I haven't had time this week. It's just been crazy. Okay, so the bundles, this is this. No, it's not. It's close to this though. I think that this is Melancholia on here, and instead of Melancholia, there is Family Jewels. Okay, now we have a insane amount of Spincycle in this shop. Sometimes what happens is that my order hasn't come in yet, and then I have to reorder because we order quarterly from Spincycle, and I can't always keep track of what's coming in and what, so I ordered too much. So I have a lot of Spincycle, which is an amazing, it's not even a problem to have. It's an amazing thing because we have such a wide range of every color that you can really pick and choose. So I went through yesterday and I picked out like the most delicious skeins of Spincycle and made sure that they all match together in this little thing. All of these skeins are super saturated. Yeah, I mean, I really did cherry pick like all of the best ones. So this one here is Family Jewels, Salty Dog, and Stay Out of the Forest. And then inside each one, I put a little sticker, and then of course the Spincycle care instructions. We usually get those, and I think we use them up. So if they don't have the care instructions, you can just look on their website. I mean, it's the same as any other yarn. I love this one. This is bundle 1. It is Grumpy Birds, Deep Bump, and is that Mississippi Marsala? These skeins of Mississippi Marsala, you guys, are like, so I'm talking about eating yarn. That's so weird. Someday, like, if people really wanted to get me, they would do a compilation of all the freaking weird shit I say on this podcast. Oh, come on. I don't want to see myself. I just want to see the yarn. There we go. To hide behind it. Oh, so pretty. Okay, now this one is a little wild, but honestly, it looks so good together. And it is Every Rose. These Every Rose skeins are like, it reminds me of Truth Bomb, but in like a way toned down version. Truth Bomb is not my favorite. And so I love this one because it's like it took Truth Bomb and like dialed back the, you know, intensity on it. So there are kind of like strawberry, burnt orange, really nice, like an orange like this. I don't know what orange you would call this. It's not terracotta, is it? I don't know. Teals, greens, oh, they're just so lovely. And then, oh my gosh, these skeins of Afternoon Delight too. Teals, greens, and plums, so good. And then obviously the light years, I love that. I love these light years that have kind of like a grello-y green. This skein isn't quite like that, but there are a lot of skeins in these bundles. Now what you see, obviously every skein of Spincycle is going to be a little bit different, but we did cherry pick which one was going to go best with each bundle. So, and I like this one if that was in the middle there. I didn't put this kit together, so I'd like to switch that. It doesn't matter. So this one is Wololo, Mississippi Marsala, and Dead Reckoning. And these Wololo skeins, they were kind of the last of them, but I was like, I want to grab these. And the Miss Me. Sorry, not Mississippi Marsala. The Miss Me. This one is looking more underwhelming on the camera than what it actually is. And bundle 7, The Meadows, Good Omen, and oh, Water Witch, that's new. Those ones are really pretty. Again, some of these ones that aren't like as bright and intense are looking underwhelming, but they're not. They are not. Okay, this is another favorite of mine. For my Mackworth class, this is what I'm going to be using. It is Pick Your Poison, Bruised Ego, and I went through and picked these skeins of Slow Burn that are so freaking good. This combo is amazing. Again, on camera, I mean, look at that. That's not underwhelming, but the Bruised Ego is way better in person. It's the glare of the bags. Okay, and then I did 2 kind of brighter, fun, funky ones. Nostalgia, Verbivolant, and what is this guy? I can't remember. Should know. Oh, Midsummer. Gorgy, gorgy. Love that little combo. This is another bright one that's really pretty. Ranunculus, these skeins of ranunculus are, I kind of, when I was picking out kits, I didn't see this one. And then when I was going back to like make sure I loved everything, I found these skeins of ranunculus. I was like, oh, I gotta make a whole nother kit because they have like the most beautiful grayish purple through them, and then lots of plums, almost like a sage color, and then the Valley Girl and the Love Spell. I love this combo. This would be such a pretty shift cowl, whatever. And then the last one, man, I love this one too because these skeins of Bright Idea, they kind of remind me of the skeins of Close Call for some reason. They're not the same, but something about them. Oh man, they're just Bright Idea, Grumpy Birds, and Castaway. And I chose skeins of Castaway that looked as much like this as I could. And I did 8 kits per color, so quite a bit. So, oh yeah, baby, I love this one. Yummy, it's like little candy. So that is the dyed in the wool, and I'm gonna show you guys Soka'pii. But before I do that, I'm doing okay on time. Before I do that, I want to show you really quick the Chore House mitts. You maybe saw them on Instagram. Move this guy out of the way. Move this guy out of the way. The Chore House mitts are from a local designer here, Karen. She's one of our customers. She's done a couple other things. I'm sure I've talked about her before. I absolutely love these mittens. And she originally knit hers with Pishkin and Odang, but I didn't want, hers were like really like actual like chore mittens. Like you're gonna go out to the barn. They were kind of bigger and bulkier, where I wanted like sleek little city chore mitts. And I love these because they're basically self-lined. You hold the Odang. I held it triple with Bear Paw. So that's what I ended up using. And I went down a needle size. And then next time my thumb gusset, I would not do as many increases. I would stop maybe 2 increases before. So my thumb gusset was just a little bit tighter because you can tell it's just like, has a little bit of a gap there. Went down a needle size, and then here's the inside of those mitts. And the Odang held triple. And to do that, I just wound my yarn into 1 ball and then did my calculations. It's 50 grams. And so then I divided that by 3. I have a little scale. I put my ball of yarn on the scale and I wind it into 3 equal-ish mini balls. And then I take those 3 and wind them together. It's easy if you set them on the floor when you're winding them together. Wound those together into 1 big ball and knit with it. And then it's fine, easy to use. She also has a hat as well. So I think you can definitely use the Odang for the mittens and the hat. You might need an extra skein of the main color of either Pishkin or Bear Paw for that. And this is Lil Wapiti and Hacer for these. So I just wanted to show you guys those because I love them. I know you guys will love making them too. Super fast knit. Okay, Soka'pii. I love Soka'pii. It was interesting when we, moved into our dye studio. We had never done a non-superwash before. Non-superwash for dyeing them is really time intensive. You have to be really careful with the wool. You can't agitate it as much. You just have to be a lot more careful and sensitive and, treat it like a little baby. So it's a pain in the ass, to be honest. And we just were like not doing it. But as time went on, I just knew that I wanted a non-superwash. And man, have we grown from that, because that really now all of our non-superwashes are probably our biggest sellers versus, well, no, Juicy DK is still up there. It's our tried and true. So when we started dyeing it though, I remember I went to a show and brought it with me and it was like nobody bought it. And it took so long for us to get people hooked on it. I probably have Caitlin Hunter to thank for that, because I'm sure she did a pattern and people started using it. And that's really what it is that when we put something new out, it takes usually a bigger design or any design, any kit that we put out there that people want to make something with, and then they realize like, oh my gosh, I love this yarn. So one of the reasons I think that it was a slow to start seller, and even in the shop here, in the skein, it just is a matte color. It's not, if you put it next to, well, if you put it next to Bear Paw DK, it doesn't shine like some of our superwash yarns do. Again, you know, I was talking about earlier, using like dyeing superwash, you're going to get variations. Very rarely is it going to be like one nice solid color. It's because we're hand dyeing these. And we have come a long way and changed our techniques over and over and over and over again to try to get it right. And it works really well now. All of our Soka'pii is, you know, for the most part, very solid. You're always going to get that semi-solid look though, with the non-super washes, which is what, I mean, I love that. I love, like, you know, you can see on this sweater, you get some little parts on here that have a little bit of variation, but still beautiful. And you can tell, you know, it's hand dyed. So it's a single ply, which makes it different than any of our other non-superwash yarns. It's a fingering weight. Because it's that single ply, I think it plumps up a little bit more. If you had a sport weight pattern, you could probably interchange it by doing a gauge swatch. I use it as a true fingering weight. I mean, you can see there, maybe. And it surprisingly doesn't pill as much as you think it would. A superwash single ply without any silk in it is going to pill all day long. But this, you know, I have probably done some like shaving on the inside of this sweater at some point, but I don't remember in the last 2 or 3 years depilling this at all. And so you can see it does have like a little bit of nubs, but not any like massive ones. It could maybe use a little, maybe on the sleeves a little bit. It could use a pilling or a depilling, but it's not anything crazy. I mean, for 2 or 3 years of wear, and this is all the pilling that you're getting, I think it's pretty damn good. So that's not something that I get concerned about, that other people before they use it kind of get concerned about. Because it's a single ply and because it's a non-superwash, it just like flies on your needles. It's such a lovely yarn to work with. You're not splitting your yarn at all. I mean, you're just like able to like, it's like knitting with a little cloud cotton candy. And once you block it and of course, you know, wash it, then it's gonna even bloom out even more and be even more lovely and soft. It's not scratchy. It's not oh dang, but it's definitely not scratchy. mixing these two is one of my favorites though. So I just pulled out like this really pretty little bright palette here. I'm gonna take a picture of this. I'll probably post it on Instagram. And then I wanted to show you just a couple of different color palettes, not really palettes, color groups, I don't know. So you can see the difference of them on Soka'pii. So for our creams and whites, this is natural, so this is just undyed, right there. And then we have Many Moons, and that is the closest to like a neutral without being stark white. It's my favorite. And then we have Soka'pii and we have Horsebelly. And so Soka'pii is more yellow and Horsebelly has a pink undertone. Both really great neutrals, and you can definitely tell the Horsebelly has a pink undertone when you look at it. But with the Soka'pii, you can't necessarily like see yellow. It's more of just like a tan, a naturally tan color. It's like aspen bark. Okay, and then I grabbed the grays and blackies. So this one is Winter Wolf. That's the lightest gray. And it's starting to, the sun has come up now, and so the light actually isn't as good. That's so interesting. And then Chinook Winds is a little bit darker than that. And then Paul Newman is a grayish with almost like a purple undertone. You can't necessarily see the purple, but that is the undertone of it. And then the next thing is Legend, and that's black, which I love that too. And then I grabbed, let's see here, Rank Bronc and Lazy Moose. Rank Bronc is kind of a mousy brown, and then Lazy Moose is just one shade darker and really more of a true brown. I don't think you're seeing much of a contrast on there, but yeah, it's a little bit more rich. And then the greens, now Mr. Pocket on Soka'pii will change. It doesn't always look like this, but we've been pretty consistent with it. If the dye changes even a little bit for Mr. Pocket, then yeah. It is a gray green. And then the Bonsai is here. And then this is Teton. So Teton is just darker and a little bit more rich. And the Bonsai is a little bit brighter. And I would say that Teton has more of a gray undertone, where the Bonsai has more of a, not a yellow undertone. Maybe a little bit, but you can't tell. So yeah, these Teton on the Soka'pii for Mackworth, oh my God. I just want to knit the Mackworth again and again and again because I wear it. Bundle 1 with Teton. Yes, please. Also, Bundle 3 with Teton. Yes, please. Freaking again, bro. Ooh, I love that one. Okay. And then there's Evergreen, which definitely has that yellow undertone, and so does Gary Cooper. So that is Soka'pii. Love me some Soka'pii. Oh, and Soka'pii means good in Blackfeet. And you kind of do like a sign like Soka'pii. So I'll show you some samples I have in Soka'pii, and then I better get going. I wanted to share some of the books that I've read over the holidays because I read 2 books, and actually I'm getting one of them in the shop. So I was talking about holding Oh Dang and Soka'pii together. This is Mighty Mo and Soka'pii together. This is The Daydreamer by Andrea Mowry. This is the size 2, I believe. I love holding Soka'pii with the Oh Dang or Mighty Mo. And this sweater is great because you can actually also wear it backwards like this. Maybe I'll wear this in my next video, podcast, whatever. I love this shawl. When I would do shows, we would sell the crap out of this because it's just such a nice, easy shawl. You need 2 skeins for the main color, and then you need 2 contrasting skeins. Again, it's a super easy breezy shawl. If I wasn't a monogamous knitter, this would be like a great, simple thing to knit on the side. And this is by Melanie Hoffman. Yeah, and Plumudis. I don't know, I can't say that. Here you go. Nope, it's gonna be backwards. I'll link it. I don't know why my brain can't say that right now. I think I've talked myself out of like having any sort of normal thought. I don't know. Anyways, I usually can say it. Yeah, just super simple shawl. And then you have these cute little tassels. So again, 2 colors for the main. Is it 2 colors for the main? I better double check. I'll write this all down for y'all. So this is a great way if you're wanting to try Soka'pii to use this in like a simple shawl. This is the Rodeo by Caitlin Hunter. You have a little bit of color work in there, and then the tassels really just make this entire thing. Isn't that cool? Nice, big, cozy, beautiful shawl. I would wear it like this. Here. So cute. We have like an agriculture, big show in town. When I was little, we called them farm forums. It was my favorite thing to do with my dad, is go to the farm forums, and you go around and you like check out the tractor, check out the feed. But I would get all the pamphlets, and I would collect all my pamphlets and put them in my little bag. And you got candy sometimes and other things. I don't know what it is about those pamphlets. I just loved them. So, all the cowboys and cowgirls are in town. They were last weekend too for the rodeo. That was so fun. And then this is a Goodwin Johnson. It's called the High Desert Yoke. This is out of Soka'pii in Napi, Fugitive, Eagle Eye, Sunday Mimosa, and In a Jam. I love this color combo. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm gonna say this is probably like a size 3 or 4. I would be wearing the crap out of this, but it's a little bit big on me. Damn it. Man, wouldn't this be another beautiful one to mix the Soka'pii and the Spincycle Bundles with? Love that. I just love me some colorwork yoke, and then boom, stockinette. And I love to wear them too. I think they're very flattering. So, yeah, that's it for little Soka'pii land. I hope you guys try it. If you've tried it before, let me know what you think. It is one of my favorites. I've been very into recollect and reminisce lately, but now that I've been here like touching and feeling the Soka'pii, I'm like, I think that my Mackworth I'm gonna knit in Soka'pii again. I just love this one so much. Okay, I wanted to tell you guys about the books that I read. We Begin at the End. I didn't write down the author. I'm gonna get it. I've already ordered it for the shop. You guys, this book, and I ordered it. My rule is that it has to be like an Indigenous author or Montana author. It doesn't hit those categories, but part of it is placed in Montana right outside of Great Falls. So I feel like that's good enough. And it's one of those books. So good. I love it. And then Unlikely Animals by Annie Hartnett. Yeah, that one was such a good book too. Just like a fun, kooky. I'm really enjoying just reading some like kooky books that are a little bit serious, but mostly funny, or making fun of serious things. So those two, amazing. Upcoming at the shop, we are having a Valentine's Day party. I think it's on the 11th. It's the Saturday before Valentine's Day. I'm getting in lots of new things, new jewelry, new self-care, greeting cards, notebooks, journals, tons of that type of stuff. We're gonna have all of our self-care items in store are gonna be 15% off. And then all of our proceeds for that day, we're doing 10%, I believe it's 10% is all going back to Sisters United. And Sisters United, we're gonna be doing some things. I need to get planning on those things because we have scholarships and the Art Fest downtown that we need to be able to support. So our scholarships were, we offer one $5,000 scholarship, but you guys, you read these stories and these are kids in our community, and sorry, I'm gonna sneeze, I'm not gonna cry. Sorry. It really does seem like I'm gonna cry, but I'm actually the worst sinus pressure right now. Yeah, these, just like reading about these kids, and it's hard to say no. So last year we ended up, and the scholarship is renewable for 2 years. So last year we offered two $5,000, well, we offered the $5,000 scholarship that's renewed, and then the two other ones we offered two other $5,000 scholarships, non-renewable, and then we gave all of our applicants $500 for books and supplies. It's hard to, these kids, it's a big process. There's a lot of barriers when it comes to scholarships for Indigenous. Okay, sorry. There's a lot of barriers, and we've tried to get rid of as many barriers as we possibly could. But it's hard, if these kids are gonna go to college, we wanna give them something. So last year it was about $23,000 that we spent on scholarships. I wanna do that every year. So I really wanna ramp up some things for Sisters United to get us back. So we have, we have plenty of money. We're doing good, Sisters United, but I like having a little nest egg for SU, and to every year be able to fundraise for those renewable things that we're doing every year. And then Art Fest is downtown. We really like to sponsor a couple of Indigenous artists to come in and do murals. And last year we did 3. And so that is kind of where we're at of wanting to do that again. So before summer, we have about $40,000 that we need to raise. And I know we can do it. I'm not worried about it. So yeah, and a lot of that is going to be in kits and stuff like that we're selling. That's part of the proceeds, events, things like that. So exciting things. And what else do we have going on? Knit Pro is a program that we're doing this year at the shop. Every quarter we're going to focus on a different technique, and so this quarter it's all basics and beyond. So it's beginner knitting, it is learning just how to cast on and knit back and forth. It's learning how to knit in the round, and then we have a Ravelry class that we're going to be teaching on how to use Ravelry, and that's something we'll also eventually offer online as well. Next quarter is going to be color work. Third quarter is going to be cables. And then the last quarter is going to be sweaters. So we're really trying to build these new knitters that we're teaching up into like making a sweater this fall, which is so exciting. So as I'm saying all this, I just realized how busy I'm going to be, which is all good. And that's kind of it, you guys. I did pretty good, hour and 20 minutes. If you're still here, thank you. For a giveaway, let's do a, I'm like, looking at all these things. Let's do a Spincycle bundle of your choice, right? Okay, cool. I think that's it. Okay, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for being here. Oh, just comment and subscribe in order to win that Spincycle bundle. And I think that's kind of it. Okay, I'm gonna go. You can tell I've been talking for a while. It's a lot. It's time to go back to bed.